Prestige perks fully data mined. All right, so I had to go check out these prestige perks. Now, this is subject to change. I remember when we had the ordeals, some of the ordeals challenges leaked, they ended up changing some of them. So the main one that comes to mind is the Spore Mine ordeal challenge. It used to be how much damage you did to other gaunts or other Tyranids. Like basically you hit a Spore Mine, it hits into a Tyranid, it starts to tally up that damage, and that was the challenge. But they ended up changing it to how many Spore Mines you are knocking out of the air with melee. It used to, really, I swear, at least I'm pretty sure, it used to be just how much damage you did against Tyranids using their own Spore Mines. I swear. I could be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure they ended up changing that ordeal challenge. Now, these are the prestige perks data mined. I'm definitely going to give you guys a little moment here to decide if you want to see these spoilers or not, but I just want to point out that it's very possible these prestige perks have been changed. It's been months since they've been last data mined. So we're going to review these a little bit, and I honestly want to kind of map out a plan as far as building my class. I really want to, get a head start of seeing what the prestige perks are and exactly which would be the best prestige perk to pick first. Because it seems like you can only pick one, but we will see. Once more information comes out about prestige perks and how they actually operate, we will see how to build our characters around them. Now, this is the list of the prestige perks. Now, for this format is incredibly frustrating. This is a data mined list, and for whatever reason, we don't have a better format for this to make it a little bit easier to zoom in on, or basically to actually see. Well, I can see it, but you guys for the video, it might be hard to read. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down each column, and then hopefully it just works out that way. But okay, so apparently there's level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5, level 6, level 7. So there's 7 levels of prestige perks. Now, I'm not too sure if you're supposed to pick the first one and then go to the second and go to the third. But from what I've gathered, it seems like you're able to pick one when you prestige and then basically just level up from there. But regardless, this is all temporary. Some of this stuff could have been changed. So let's first go down the tacticals. Each consecutive melee attack increases headshot damage by 2% for 3 seconds. That's pretty good. Max primary and secondary ammo increased by 10%. Refund scan if no targets were hit. Refund scan if no targets were hit. I kind of like that one. But it's not as good as the each consecutive melee attack increases headshot damage. That's pretty crazy. Restore scan by 10% when picking up ammo. I really like that one. Holy cow. Stims restore 25% more health. I like that one also. Actually, for tactical, this might be the one you pick. 25% damage taken when under 50% health. I like that one as well. I really like the stims restore 25% more health. Scan restores 15% faster when under 25% health. That's okay. So some of these are pretty good. Because they, support the cooldown for scan. I do think the extra stim heals or the restore scan by picking up ammo, those are probably the ones to go for. But like max primary ammo increased by 10% is pretty good. And then I also like level 1. The consecutive melee attack increases headshot damage. All right, now let's check out the assault classes prestige perks. Armor regen delay reduced by 15%. Okay. While performing a gun strike, you do not lose control and you cannot be knocked back. Okay, that's pretty good. Perfect parry windows increased by 25% for assault. That's interesting. See, this is how you know this was data mined a long time ago, because this could say perfect parry and blocking by the time it comes out. Health increases by 10% for assault. That seems a little underwhelming, but okay. 10% damage taken when 5 enemies are closer than 10 meters. 10% damage taken. Oh, negative 10% damage taken. Yeah, that makes sense. Similar to the Bulwark perk, when you're surrounded by enemies, you take less range damage. This is just, I think, total damage. Ranged weapon damage increases by 10%. I like that for Assault. Assault has a pretty nice gunslinger build that's fun to use. Restore jump pack charge for reviving teammates. Oh, that's a little interesting. That's a little weird, but it is interesting. So by far, I think Assault class's prestige perks need, I think so far, I don't know about by far, but so far the Assault class's prestige perks, some of them are pretty good, and then some of them aren't good, to be honest. Like the health increases by 10%. Who's gonna pick that? That's hopefully these get adjusted by the time the prestige perks actually release. Vanguard, increased range damage by 15% if the target is closer than 8 meters, so that's great for the Melta, holy cow. Increase all damage by 25% and ability cooldown reduced by 20% when under 25% health. I like that one, but you will be healing with Vanguard, so it is possible that you don't even stay in 25% health for too long. While performing a gun strike, you do not lose control and you cannot be knocked back. Okay, a little boring, and not to mention the cannot be knocked back perk apparently is broken, but you know, we will see. Health increases by 10%. Okay, so Vanguard and Assault have a few of the same ones. That's not surprising, but also a little bit, you know, I don't think the health increases by 10% is a very good prestige perk. Plus 15%, negative 15% damage taken when using grappling hook. That's not great either, considering how fast the usage of grappling hook is. Grappling hook. The grappling hook is basically, you just use the hook, right? So it's like, you don't really get shot much during that animation anyway. Restore an armor segment for killing 10 enemies in rapid succession. Okay, so the good prestige perks for Vanguards seem to be centered around the Melta. Increases equipment damage by 15%. I like that one. That one's good. Increases just increasing grenade damage. Very nice, very nice. Grenades are really important in higher difficulties. Oh, now here's Bulwarks. Bulwark, restore all secondary ammo on extremist or higher finisher. Interesting. I think that's pretty good for the plasma pistol. Stims restore 25% more health. Okay, compared to... Oh, that's the same exact one for tactical. Increased charge attack damage by 15%. I like that. Even though charge attacks are kind of hard to pull off at higher difficulties. For Bulwark, this is interesting. This is interesting. I would like to use a charge attack for like the power sword or the, you know, the power fist, obviously. Ranged weapon damage increases by 10%. That's not bad. That's not bad for Bullwark plasma pistol, anyway. Restore ability by 1% for each attacked block. Now that one's pretty good. Restore ability by 1% for each attack block. Yeah, that's likely the one to pick for Bulwark. Invulnerability duration when activating the banner. Oh, okay. I mean, that's pretty cool. There are times where I've been knocked out of banner. That's fair. Remove negative status effects for allies too when activating the banner. Remove... Oh, I don't know. So, see, some of these prestige perks seem way stronger than the other ones. This is definitely not the finalized version of the prestige perks. Sniper, invulnerability duration when activating camo cloak. That's pretty cool. But still, it's like not very necessary. Secondary weapon spread reduced. Now that's absolutely not necessary for a sniper. I mean, it's fine though. It's fine. I would rather just overall damage for the secondary, just in case. But it's like not, you know, the sniper obviously is just gonna snipe things. Armor regen delay reduced by 15%. That honestly might be okay, but it's not necessary. Secondary damage increases by 20% after switching weapons. Okay, so what's the deal with the secondary weapon support for sniper here? It feels very not it feels very not good. I don't know why. Like secondary damage for the assault class or the assault class or the bulwark is more appealing than secondary damage for the sniper. Sniper should be fine without it. You do not lose control and you cannot be knocked back for 5 seconds after performing a perfect parry or perfect dodge. It's pretty cool. Health damage reduced by 15% for 5 seconds after armor is destroyed. Yeah, like that's honestly the one I'd pick. Range damage increases by 10% for 5 seconds after gun strike. Range damage increases by 10% for 5 seconds after gun strike. All right, so that's a tactical perk. that's a tactical perk right there. That's okay, I guess. That's pretty good for the bolt carbine. Close range bolt sniper is kind of a awkward situation for that. But I feel like 5 seconds is enough to get like a gun strike and then like roll away or something, and then just use the bolt sniper that way. Overall, I'm very not impressed with the sniper's prestige perks, to be honest. I really hope some of these get changed. Heavy, endless chain stomps. Cool. Restore all secondary ammo on extremists or higher finishers. It's okay. That's a fine prestige perk. I just think it's on the wrong classes. Well, no, the other time this was on Bullwark, right? Yeah. I don't know if Heavy needs this either. To be honest, I'd rather just some ammo support for the primary. I mean, just 10% extra ammo. Why not? Health damage reduced by 15% for 5 seconds after armor is destroyed. I do like that one. I always like damage reduction perks. They're very good in this game. Melee damage increases by 20%. Hey, the melee heavy is actually possible. That might be fun to try out. But I wouldn't recommend building a. I would not recommend building around that. But it still seems interesting. Health damage reduced by 15% when performing melee attacks. Okay. Dude, what is up with these? What is up with the melee heavy? I swear, some of these perks I would like to switch around. Remove negative status effects when activating Iron Halo. That's fine. That's fine enough. You do not lose control, and you cannot be knocked back when performing a charged melee attack. Yeah. Dude, Heavy has a lot of melee support. That's pretty puzzling, to be completely honest. I would straight up like replace some of this melee stuff for Heavy with just overall more health or more ammo, to be completely honest. Interesting. I'm curious to see what's actually going to be changed here. And again, I'm sorry about the format, but I'm doing my best to read everyone one by one. And yeah, I'm going to try my best to organize it so you guys can read these as well. But it's like you can't zoom in, and when you do zoom in, it just gets really distorted. The picture they picked for this is just, it's not great. But I don't know. I don't know how to fix it or if it needs to be fixed or whatever. So I'm doing the best I can here to read these out. All right, so yeah, definitely let me know in the comments how you guys felt about these perks. Some of them are really good. Some of them are not really good. Some of them are weird. Okay, yeah, let me read some of the comments on this. Heavy be like, I'm gonna go full toddler tantrum on the enemy. Okay. Yeah, Heavy's gonna be stomping around and causing a ruckus with those prestige perks. Very interesting choice for perks. So these were leaked a couple months ago. I'm assuming some of these have been changed since the perk reworks. Maybe they have a better idea on how to balance certain perks for prestige perks. Interesting. The stomping Heavy is fun, but I want to use my gun with Heavy. You know, I don't like the stomping is just kind of there. It can be useful for sure, but you know, I would rather more heavy weapon support for the Heavy. Why do devs bother with garbage like 2% extra headshot damage per melee attack up to 10% for 3 seconds? It does feel a little tedious, but I can make some use out of that. 3 seconds might be too short, but with tactical, you know, the chainsaw is very strong, so just swing the chainsaw and shoot at heads. That's very tactical. Negative 15% damage taken when using grappling hook. Yeah, now that one's probably the worst one we saw. And armor regen delay reduced by 3.75 seconds. In what situation are you ever actually waiting the 25, now only 21 seconds for your armor to regenerate unless you already out of combat? That's okay, that's a fair point. Yeah, some of these prestige perks need to be adjusted for sure. Almost every single perk in this game is completely useless in every... Oh yeah, this was 3 months ago. So no, this guy really said almost every perk in this game is completely useless. That's not the case anymore. They have reworked the perks for our classes to a very satisfying point, and I can see them changing some of these prestige perks for sure. But yeah, fair enough. Some of those prestige perks were definitely not great.